This is your daily briefing, and you are most welcome to it. The internet was perhaps its most brutal for some football journalists yesterday, who got caught in the Lautaro Martinez vortex, which is to say the story came out that Spurs had allegedly placed a €70 million bid for the boy, and then literally by the time the jet set had hit publish, the story had been completely nullified by the agent coming out saying the player was absolutely fine in Italy and had no interest in leaving the place. Two things I'd say here. One is you don't always have to run with a home run of a headline, like signed close to this, that and the other. You can actually do what I did, and 4 days ago, I'm not looking for a badge by the way, 4 days ago I put up a best of reel that I'd made of the guy, because that's when the story broke in Italy. And the second thing that's of interest is the fact that if Spurs are wandering around laying out bids of this size, then it's got to be Kane money. Nom 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 nom. Tanguy Ndombele was noticeable again by his absence. I understand the guy's on paternity leave, or was on paternity leave, but it makes me wonder if everybody is back at training, as we're told, that he isn't back and trying to shake off all the Foley's rusks that he's been through over the last few months. Backstory. Daily Mail. They bring us more news of the European Super League, and I know some of you find this a bit of a drone, but look, the reality is that all the clubs that are involved in this are in a ton of debt. They're up to their knickers in debt before COVID struck, and that's just doubled down and absolutely crushed them. Changing the law, is that the solution? I would suggest it might not be, and I think the best solution is to talk through this. Open a line of dialogue and let's see what can be achieved. Boris Johnson had come out and said he was backing to drop a legislative bomb in order to stop it. This is very emotive language, and all of this piffle we've had, all this woke sort of moralising, which is increasingly doing the rounds in football these days, from the likes of Lineker and Neville and co. About the poor ickle clubs. They don't care about them now. Yes, this idea, this proposed operation is morally and ethically questionable. So is the situation we're in at the moment. If anybody thinks the Premier League's structure and the way football structured in this country is fair, you need your head looking at. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. I'd be interested to see if the government goes down this line, but unfortunately we have one of the most liberal conservative governments of our existence. Danny Murphy, occasionally a bit kind of, but here he makes a really good point about the Harry Kane situation. And I don't expect the club to come out and sully themselves by talking to their customers. But Murphy says here that Kane needs to make his position clear. And at the moment, Spurs fans are just in a state of confusion. And that confusion has bred the slurs against Kane. So he's worried about if he looks professional or not. But he needs to be a little more open with people, and just to kill the speculation off. Not about whether he's going or not, but about his circumstances. You're allowed to provide commentary on people you're in business with or you're working for. You're allowed to do that. Kane certainly, I feel here, as it will be looking to Charlie. I've made a recurring point of bringing Charlie's name into this, not because he's his brother, not because I'm envious or in any respect, but it's just that this cloak and dagger thing hasn't worked. It's not worked for anybody. And if Levy's been sat there not answering the phone, Charlie can't say, well, he won't talk to me. It doesn't work like that. Agents, I believe, have to be the catalyst for change in relationships between players and clubs. That's what they get paid the big bucks for. And saying that he's not answering the phone, it's just not good enough. Nuno is due to have talks with Harry Kane today. We shall see what transpires from them and if anything meaningful comes out. Highlight of the North London friendly thing was Arteta and Højbjerg handbags. I love this sort of stuff because this was just done really well. There was no nastiness in it. It was just very, very clever shithousery. And Højbjerg came in for a ball, slid off the park, Arteta was just out of his technical area, and Højbjerg reacted to the telling off that Arteta began and stopped very quickly before he was then looking over for assistance from the Spurs technical box. The one thing that struck me about this, and we've got the clip coming up, is that the Gunners coach was stood there, and in those circumstances, a few seconds feels like a lifetime, and none of his players came over. None of the Arsenal players came over. Don't worry, Gaffer. Hey, mate, what do you think you do? There was none of that. And I thought that was quite telling. Maybe I'm just crazy. Right, that's it for today. Let's keep our eyes and ears peeled. And if we're going to share information on here, and I'm not having a go at anybody in particular, but you know who you are, Derek. If you're going to share information on here, can we make sure the sources are good? I don't mind you getting caught out with stuff that goes out of date, like with the Martinez thing. But if another channel or a newspaper or whatever is just saying, oh yeah, now we're going for Coutinho, absolute mindless, isn't even in it. So let's just be careful about what we share, because let's not be part of the disinformation loop. I don't think that's too unreasonable. Good luck. Keep it Tottenham.